Hey, it's your girl MJ, and welcome to the Booty Call to Bride channel. I am your girl, Michelle Tillman, and today we are talking all about Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 9. I did work on the Season 9 in Charlotte, so I kind of have some insight on how things go behind the scenes. So that is what prompted me to lead y'all with my 2 cents about this season. Funniest part of the show to start off was the fact that Henry had Christina in his phone as Christina Married at First Sight, as if he was going to forget who she was during this experiment. He was calling to check on her and she didn't answer the phone. And she came home later drunk, wanting to talk about her feelings. Henry was discussing in his confessional about how him and Christina got into it, but I just thought his language in describing it was so hilarious.
He sat back, he crossed his legs, put his little chin out, and you know how he shakes his head when he talks? He was like, so last week me and Christina got in a little tiff.
Christina discussed her ADD that she deals with and suffers with, and that she had not been on medication for it. So I am not familiar with that condition in adults and like how the medication works or anything like that. But she did mention that her mom really does not want her to be on medication. So that's, I guess, why she got off maybe for the show. But maybe we all would not dislike her so much if she had been on her medication. And hopefully going forward, if she's staying on her medication, we will be able to see who the best her is. And I just thought that it was so sweet how they flashed back to how one of Henry's girlfriends said that, you know, he was there for her when she lost her sister and how she was so happy to have a friend like him to comfort her in that time.
It's so weird because Henry seems so impersonal and like he doesn't even look people in the eye that I can't really see him being a comforter, but she said he was. So maybe that is what prompted Christina to feel like she could be honest with him and tell him what her issues were.
Henry seemed really accepting of her confessing to, you know, what she deals with. So I think that may actually help her out in the relationship with him understanding all the dynamics that she brings to the table. When Christina started telling the story about her ex and how she had 3 cents or something like that to her name and they were so broke and they had a can of soup, but it was a great can of soup, that made me put into reality like what her past relationships may have been like. It also made me really think she probably is homeless.
You said this can of soup story was from your last relationship, which from what I understood that she said earlier in the season, that wasn't too long ago. So you're saying that neither one of you had any money a few years ago or less, and you were drinking a can of soup.
But you had the nerve to say Henry ain't never been nowhere and you was talking down to him. So I guess we're supposed to give her a break because she's not on her medication. I'm thinking, wait a minute, that was a very short time ago that you were that broke and going on Campbell soup dates. Maybe my standard's too high, but I just don't see why she was so impressed with that.
Christina mentioned that she sees why the experts matched them together because she can bring him down. She also said that her exes would like pick on her. I didn't notice until this episode how not neat she was, but hey, I don't know if that what they picked on her about or if it was the fact that she had 3 cents in her account or the fact that she has ADD and maybe some of the habits and things that she does irritated them. I don't know. But I would never be in a relationship with someone who picks on me, so I'm not sure I understand what type of people she was with in the past. But maybe that's why she's here. I thought it was so cute when they went golfing together and Henry was able to be confident and show her something that she didn't know. Finally, like the roles turned, and I think she was really excited to be able to see Henry in his element. And he didn't quite do it. I thought he was going to get up behind her and really show her and get in there like, yeah, this my boo and I'm getting behind her and I'm going to show her how to swing, but kind of like cup of feel in the moment. But he kind of like stayed off to the side, but he did help her with her swing. I thought that was so cute. And it seemed like the dynamic of their relationship was turning in that moment. And I just wonder, like, was that filmed before or after the medication? Because she just seemed really chill, unless she just kind of changed her vibe from the fact that Henry was in his vibe, and that made her act different. I really thought it was great that Henry planned a date where they could go salsa dancing because Christina loves to dance and Henry is not good at dancing. And it was so funny because the instructors were trying to tell him, you have to look at her. And we all know he has an issue with looking people in the eyes. So for him to have to like look up, he wasn't actually looking at her. He was kind of like dancing, but looking to the side. But he was doing a great job of not giving up. And Christina even mentioned that I didn't think he was going to get this, but he finally got it. And I'm so happy that he stuck with it to try to get it.
Amani and Woody, I always like have so little to say about them because everything about their relationship seems like it's going in the right direction. I thought it was so cool that, Woody got a pedicure and he wanted to set up a day for his wife to get her toes done and her nails done because he said she mentioned how they looked busted or something to that effect. And so I just think that it is important that a man pay attention to the hints and clues that his woman is dropping, and he definitely paid attention and took advantage of that, set up that appointment. And it was cool that it was something that they could do together. Drop in the comments, let me know if you would be cool with your man getting a mani and pedi with you. She even gave him that heads up. Hey, I'm going to take my braids out. My hair about to be out, whatever. That's cool. I just like the dynamic of their relationship in general.
I really enjoy her personality altogether. It's just like, she's just like, he's crazy, and I like it. She's just so smooth, like, again, Sarah Jakes Roberts vibes all day. Like, her voice doesn't elevate much. Even when she's excited, she's like, yay, I'm so excited. I really love my husband. She's like, the energy level doesn't increase, but she's excited anyway.
I thought it was very interesting that Amani mentioned that she was not in love with Woody yet. I could have been fooled, but I really think that Woody picked up on the fact that maybe she's just scared to say it, even though she may be feeling it. But Woody did look like he was feeling some type of way when she first said she was not in love with him yet. But I mean, that does take time, and I guess she's just being careful with her words. But he did look like, say what? You ain't in love? All this stuff I done did? Amani, even though she didn't say I'm in love with you, she cooked the dinner for him. She made the salmon, she made the pasta, and like she had the wine. She like did things up to make Woody still feel special. Maybe she could pick up on that vibe that maybe he was a little disappointed that she didn't say she was in love or loved him or had love for him.
First of all, let's go there. All the couples talking about, I have love for them, but I'm not in love with them. What is that about? Just say you care about them, but you don't love them yet. I just think that that's kind of weird to be doing that. Love, but not in love. You care about them, you're into them, and you're developing your love story. You don't have to like in love and have love. I just thought that was weird.
That Amani said she will do whatever it takes to keep her husband. And that just shows that even though she might not feel in love, that she definitely is invested in the relationship and is going to do whatever she can to make it work. And I love that about them and her. Can I just say that Woody is not the only one who did not know what a burqa is. He thought she said burger. Woody, it's okay. I didn't know what it was either. He learned something new from his wife about a burqa being what Muslim women wear that covers so much of their body. And she made the comment that even if she had on a burqa, that he would be attracted to her and ready to go. Karen and Miles. Karen. Girl, at this point, I can't stand you. I can't stand this persona that Karen is putting on. She is just mentally messing with Miles because of her own insecurities. And I really hope that when they come out of this, that either they can work it out or be together, or that Miles is not tainted with what women desire after this. Miles fixed Karen's car. Miles hired a private chef for them to learn to cook together so that he could take a load off of Karen and cook for her, so that the days that she may come home from work and stressed out, that he would be able to carry the load of being able to cook. Miles keeps saying a few words that only encourage Karen's behavior about mentioning how non-masculine that she thinks Miles is. He keeps saying, I'm scared.
Whenever they were cutting the onions, he's like, I'm scared to cut the onions. Okay, I can see how that could be already agitating her mental position that he's not masculine.
is probably just a huge turnoff because she was like, you scared, you scared, you scared. Saying the word I'm scared is like a trigger for her.
All the things that Miles did, she was like, oh, that was cute. But I really think we need to learn how to be ourselves and open up a little bit more. When, in all honesty, I feel like she has not paved the way for Miles to feel comfortable being vulnerable with her, because she seems like to always throw the I like a masculine man card. And being in touch with your emotions doesn't make you not masculine, but I think that she has definitely had the wrong idea of what a masculine man looks like and what a good husband looks like and what a provider and protector looks like. I mean, he fixed your car, for goodness sake. Like, sis, she needs to really reevaluate what her definition of a good husband is, because I think that there's plenty of women who will be ready to snatch Miles up at any given moment. As soon as you say it's over, they're going to be in his DMs. Like, come on.
She said she wanted to see him be more open and tell about himself, and he did. He was very vulnerable. He talked about how his parents divorced when he was 9, and he kind of felt like he was the peacemaker between both homes, and he was bouncing back from house to house. And then finally, by the time he got to college, he got fed up, and he was like, I can't do this no more. And I think that it was great for her to understand where that just trying to keep the peace dynamic comes from.
It was ingrained in him when he was 9 years old, and that she needs to realize that that will take time for him to not stay in his people pleaser shell, but that's kind of like what he knows. So she needs to be understanding and compassionate about where he got that people pleasing behavior from.
Karen is concerned that he will be a people pleaser or trying to be Superman all the time and not actually voice what his needs and wants are to her. But in the same breath, later on in the episode, she gets mad when he starts voicing what his needs are.
He said, what about physical intimacy? You want him to voice his needs in every area except that one? Okay, you're married, first of all. And I think the way that he tried to be lighthearted about their intimacy situation was probably the best way to kind of bring it up without it sounding too serious, but she didn't like the way he brought it up, so maybe that's not work. She's so serious, so maybe he needed to be serious too. Like, I'm like, sis, you're only like 30 years old. Why are you so serious? Like, lighten up. I was just thinking, is this why your ex went and had a baby with somebody else? He just wanted to have fun, like, because you're so dull and monotone and take things too serious and can't play, can't laugh. When he put it on the calendar, have sex with my wife, I thought that was funny, like, but she did not think it was funny. And in the preview for the next episode, she was like, he crossed the boundary. And like, but you just said, tell me what you need. And when I tell you what you need, now you react. See, this is why men don't talk, because of people like Karen. Tell them, I want to hear this, tell me what you need. But then when you tell them, you react this way. And that is why people in general don't say what they need, especially men, because of Karens in the world. So Karen, please fix that.
Now, when Miles did start talking to her about what she needs physically, I do realize that the way he asked that was kind of weird
and awkward. He probably should have asked that off camera, but I don't know if they kind of told him, hey, ask her what she needs physically and we're going to record it. I don't know how that went. It sounds like she was taken off guard. She was not expecting him to say that. She was like, well, I've never listed it out. But you know what? One thing I can say is that if you are trying to get married, and I know this from, the women I work with and talk with about dating and preparing for marriage, you got to know what you want. And for me, I'm a Christian and I believe in waiting till marriage to have sex. They are married. I believe they should have a go forward to have sex. And I think that the fact that she won't even let him know, well, these are some of the things I like. I know she does not mentally see herself being intimate with him yet, but just at least soften up and give him a little something to work with to say, well, I like this. I like starting off with foot rubs. She apparently likes that because she asked for that like the first night they were married. So I think that, yes, maybe Miles did not use the right approach to bring it up, but even though he did bring it up because she said, I want you to be more vulnerable, I want you to tell me what you need, she should have been more open because of the fact she just asked him to do that. And he was only doing what she asked. It may not be the way she wanted it, and might not have been presented how she thought it should be, but he was just doing what she asked.
So Miles, good for you for bringing it up. but you probably need a little more swag with how you do it. Like, you could have been massaging her feet when you brought this conversation up. Like, hey, I know you like getting your feet massaged. What else do you like? I don't know if he's not smooth or if Karen has just made him so nervous that he doesn't know how to say things to her in the way that he normally has. Because if he's been in all these monogamous relationships, apparently he has a little bit of game.
She also mentioned that she don't want to be with somebody who does great things for everyone. She has a backwards, low self-esteem mentality to the point where it's ridiculous. You don't want to be with someone who's done all the women in his past is good, who's always from the jump being someone who is into you and willing to woo you over. So you'd rather have a man who treats women like trash and then he treats you like royalty, so you think that, that shows that he really likes me? If the character of the man is to just nurture his woman, whoever she might be, that is not a bad quality. So this makes me think your ex was some bum and then he started treating you better. And so you were like, oh, well, I'm special because he treats me better. When in reality, he was just treating you better for a little while, and then that's when he went and had the baby on you because you are the type of man who didn't treat nobody right, and you the first one he treated right, which is so stupid because how he treats women from his past is a great indicator of how he would treat you.
So to say that you want to feel special or it needs to build up, that is the stupidest thing I have.
They only have 6 weeks to convince the other person that I am a good partner for you. So you want him to hold all his tricks until after the 6 weeks? Since that makes absolutely no sense. And I really hope that she gets the counseling and therapy help that she needs because there's some issues that she must be dealing with that are deeper rooted that she has not shared with us because I honestly don't understand her philosophy on how she wants to be treated, and to me, it's a detriment to their marriage.
I love that Miles took what she said and flipped it and said, hey, I'm like fine wine. I only get better with time. That's what I'm talking about, Miles. Get better with time. I mean, you fixing cars and bringing chefs over. If it gets better than that, I think that he will be an excellent husband for whoever he's with. I really don't think Karen deserves him at this point because she doesn't even know a good man when she has one right in her face.
I thought it was funny that Miles said that grocery shopping was a date. He said, I picked you up, I took you to a place, I let you pick out whatever you want, I paid for it, I brought you home, I opened your doors. Like, I thought that was funny that he used the grocery store as an analogy for a date. But to be honest, you can learn a lot about someone going grocery shopping. I think that is actually a great idea, especially if you're in quarantine, you're in a pandemic. There's not many places that you may want to go, but a grocery store date is actually pretty cute.
Oh my goodness, Amelia and Bennett actually talked about how they did the do on this episode. She said that Bennett wasn't feeling well. She got him honey. She got him tea. I was kind of thinking, this was pre-Rona. I wonder, did he have the Rona? Getting sick got him some. Good for you, Amelia and Bennett. I'm glad they were able to cross that threshold in their marriage. Okay, so of course you guys saw that the prompt cards were given to all of the couples in the episode, and I just love how they answered the questions. Amelia talked about how she wanted joy and attraction in their relationship to feel love, and Bennett went into he wanted to feel at ease but passionate. And that's such a great explanation of how you want to feel about someone who you're with. You want to feel cool and relaxed, like we're so at ease. If I gotta pass gas around you, if I gotta do this, if I gotta do that. But I also want to feel passionate about who I'm with, and I think that that's a great dynamic they have. Amelia also mentioned that she feels like she needs to have some things in place before she can actually say I'm in love, because she's thinking like, if I move and this guy don't come with me, then is he really in love?
Bennett described how he fell in love at first sight with someone, and at first I was like, well, who he about to say? And I feel like he cleaned it up and then made it Amelia, so I don't know if that's who he was really going to talk about or not, but I love how he said she was laughing a lot and how they went back to the shots of them on their first day, so that was really cute for him to say love at first sight.
I love that Amelia had made that little cake for Bennett and how she took him to do an adventure that she wanted to do where they were walking on the strings. I don't know the exact name of that in the trees, but I thought that was so cool for her to bring him into her world and do things that she likes to do. It looked really fun. They had the matching outfits. That was really cute. When you move in with someone, chores and household things, that can be a source of tension. So it was great the way that Bennett casually brought up some of the things that he wants to happen around the house. They said they were going to have a chore draft. He mentioned the bathroom hadn't really been cleaned. So I think that, I was assuming like he was like one of them dirty, messy people who probably don't clean up nothing. But I was wrong. He is really concerned about cleaning. They even showed him sweeping on the episode. So I think that they just have a great way of communicating things that could be awkward, but he makes sure they're not. Olivia and Brett. Oh, I don't think there's much hope for them. They don't want to meet in the middle. I do think that Christina had a good point when she said we need to work on the small things and then the big things will come together later. And Brett was like, that's the opposite of any good marital advice I've ever heard in my life. And I think that she didn't explain it well. I think she explained it well when she was talking to the other girl about it.
When she was saying, I just want us to spend more time together, learn about each other more, and then maybe we'll be able to understand each other better to be able to handle the large issues. And that makes sense because they haven't spent a lot of time together. And even Brett said he loves seeing someone who's in their passion. And even though he was not taking the, how will you fall in love thing serious, I do think that he was paying attention and that he does think that everything is lighthearted and funny. Olivia kind of had like a stick up her butt. She doesn't know how to, just have fun and laugh with him, but then reel him back in on, okay, for real, like, what can we do? So I think that she has to learn his sarcasm and learn how to be sarcastic back with him. She seems to do it with his family when they're around, but not actually with Brett. So maybe she will do better with doing it with Brett, even though Brett is totally annoying sometimes. And I can see how he can be agitating, but at the same time, if she really wants this to work, which I'm not sure she does, then they're going to have to learn to understand and be flexible with each other's personalities.
Brett was kind of complaining about the alligator trip, saying that it was boring and it was a snoozer or something like that. But eventually it seemed like they got more into it when they were holding the alligator. And then at the end, like their confessional talk outside, he was holding her shoulder. They kept showing him rubbing her shoulder. I was like, okay, Brett, you rubbing little shoulder. You making her feel like, So it's like, I don't know if he puts on for the camera, like, do you rub her shoulder any other time? Maybe if you rubbed her shoulders a little more, she would get on a budget. Brett keeps talking about how he likes Olivia, but I'm just wondering, like, why he hasn't made a move yet. If he were to put that thing on her, I really believe she would act a little different. I do think that if Brett and Olivia would just consummate their marriage, it would solve some of their issues. Like, she wouldn't have a stick of her butt if she was getting some butt. They need to see what that is like before they make their decision. Again, I'm a Christian, I'm saved, and I believe in being pure before marriage, but they are actually married, so why not get it in and see what it is like? Okay? Then maybe some of y'all's dynamics will change, or either it will just elevate everything to another level and you hate them. I don't know, but let's just find out either way. No one's gonna be mad at you for doing it. No one's gonna judge you for doing it. You got married. You're married, right? And my pastor always says that sex puts up blinders where you kind of like it's made to connect you and made to help you overlook things. That's why it's meant for marriage and not for your single life. And I just think that if you are more blinded to a certain degree, not saying that they totally overlook red flags, but it will help you to just bring on down all of that tension to where you guys can just really have real conversation. So this is my summary for this week's episode. Make sure you write in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about how Karen's acting. Let me know if you think Christina's going to make a change for the better because she's back on her meds. Let me know if you think Amelia and Bennett's relationship is going to take to the next level because they consummated their marriage. Let me know everything. I'm so excited that you guys are watching. Make sure you share this video with a friend. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.